Learn grammar without any effort. Welcome to your digital classroom. I am Saji KV and you are watching my channel, the EUREKA. Let's learn non-finite verb. Examine this sentence. You watch this video to learn English. How many verbs are there in this sentence? There is only one verb. How do you know there is only one verb? Here, watch is one verb. To learn also look like verb, but it is not exactly verb. That is to say, there are two categories of verb. Finite verb and non-finite verb. How do you find out the finite verb? If you want to find out the finite verb, change the tense of this sentence. You change the sentence into either simple present tense or simple past tense. And whatever the verb changes, that verb is the finite verb. You change now that sentence into simple past. You watched this video to learn English. Here you find the verb watch changed into watched when we changed the sentence into simple past. That is to say, in this sentence, only one verb. Watch alone is the verb. To learn looks like a verb, but it is not exactly a finite verb. A finite verb is a verb that is limited by number and person, whereas non-finite verb is not limited by subject, person and number of the subject, whether the subject is singular or plural. It is no matter. Therefore, this sentence has one verb. Now let us examine another sentence. They are coming here for learning English. Here, how many verbs are there? How do you find out the number of verbs in a sentence? Change that sentence into either simple present tense or simple past. We will change that sentence into simple past. They came here for learning English. Again, you find how many changes? Here, the verb coming changed into came when we change that sentence into simple past. Therefore, this sentence has only one finite verb. Learning is not exactly finite verb. It looks like a verb, but it is not exactly a verb. A verb alone changes its form when you change the tense. In order to find out the finite verb, merely change the tense of the sentence. And whatever the number of verbs in a sentence, that many clauses will have the sentence. Number of verb determines number of clauses in a sentence. If a sentence has only one verb, it's a simple sentence. We will learn later simple, complex, compound sentence. Now here we have to learn non-finite verb. So verb can be categorized into two groups: finite verb and non-finite verb. What are the finite verbs? We learned in the previous video verb and types of verb. There are three types of verb: transitive verb, intransitive verb, and verb of incomplete predication. And in the same way, there are three non-finite verbs: infinitive, participle, and gerund. They are called non-finite verbs because they look like verbs, but they are not verbs. Then what are they? Non-finite verbs are the verb that does the work of a noun, adjective, or an adverb. They can work like a noun, adjective, or an adverb. Today we shall learn particularly about gerund. So gerund is a non-finite verb that ends in ing form and does the work of a noun. Gerund is a non-finite verb that does the work of a noun. For example, swimming is a good exercise. In this sentence, which is the verb? In this sentence, is the verb. What about swimming? Swimming looks like a verb, but it is not a verb. And here, swimming works like a noun. Swimming is a good exercise. Mohan is a good boy. In this sentence, Mohan is the subject of the verb is. In the same way, swimming is the subject of the verb is. Thus, we find this swimming is a non-finite verb because it does the work of a noun. What are the works of a noun? A noun has 5 types of work. A noun can be subject of a verb, object of a verb, object of a preposition, complement to a verb of incomplete predication, and a position to a noun or a pronoun. In the same way, a gerund has 4 types of work. It cannot be a position to a noun or a pronoun. Rest 4 works a gerund can do. That is to say, a gerund can be subject of a verb, object of a verb, object of a preposition, and complement to a verb of incomplete predication. Now, let us go in detail. Here we will compare the function of noun with the function of a gerund. Now, let us examine a sentence. Walking is a good exercise. In this sentence, which is the subject of the verb? Walking. Which is the verb? Is. You change the tense of that sentence. Walking was a good exercise. Here was alone changed. Verb alone changes its form when you change the sentence into other tense. No noun can change. Adjective, adverb, pronoun, nothing can be changed when you change the tense of a sentence. And walking is the subject of the verb is. Now, let us compare it with a noun. Look at this sentence. This story is good. Here, which is the noun? Story. is noun. And which is the verb? Is. And so, story is the subject of the verb is. Just like here, story is the subject of the verb. In the same way, walking is the subject of the verb is. Here, noun is the subject of the verb, and here, gerund, walking is the subject of the verb. Now let us examine another sentence. I like swimming in the river. Now, which is the verb in this sentence? Like. Now here, swimming is the non-finite verb. It is the gerund. It ends in ing form. It looks like a verb, but it does the work of a noun. And here, it is the object of the verb like. Like is the transitive verb, and swimming is the object of the verb like. Now, let's compare a sentence with a noun. I like ice cream. Here, ice cream is a noun. Now, I like swimming. Swimming like a noun. Just like ice cream is noun, and swimming also is noun. And therefore, a gerund can be the object of the verb. So a gerund can be subject of a verb, object of a verb. Now let us examine another sentence. I am fond of singing songs. So I am fond of singing songs. In this sentence, am is the verb, and singing is the gerund. And here, before the singing, a preposition has come. Therefore, it is the object of the preposition. Singing is the object of the preposition. Now, let us analyze another sentence. He talked about the school. Here, school is noun, and it has come after the preposition about. So, school is their object of the preposition. In the same way, if a non-finite verb that ends with ing comes after a preposition, it is gerund. So remember, gerund can be object of a preposition, just like noun can be object of a preposition. About a school, school is the object of the preposition about. Now, let's examine another sentence. What he likes is dancing. So here, dancing is the gerund, and it has come after the verb of incomplete predication. We learned already while learning verb and types of verb. Is a verb of incomplete predication. It is a complement to verb of incomplete predication. Let's examine another sentence. What he likes is ice cream. Here you see, ice cream is the complement to verb of incomplete predication is. So here we learn a gerund can be subject of a verb, object of a verb, object of a preposition, complement to verb of incomplete predication. Now remember, a gerund alone can come after the preposition when it is non-finite verb. A gerund alone can be used after the possessive. His coming, his going, her learning, your coming. So here possessive adjective, your coming. So no participle can come. Participle and gerund look alike. Present participle and gerund look alike because both end in ing form, and therefore we may get confused. But a gerund does the work of a noun, present participle does the work of an adjective. So when we learn present participle, it will be clearer the difference between gerund and participle. When we learn participle, we definitely analyze the difference between gerund and participle. We shall examine one more sentence each, and we will conclude the section of learning gerund. Singing is her hobby. Here, singing is the gerund. It is the subject of the verb is. Now, I like singing. In this sentence, singing is the gerund. It is object of the verb like, object of the transitive verb like. Now, I am fond of singing. In this sentence, fond of is preposition, and singing has come after the preposition, object of the preposition. What she likes is singing. So here, singing is the gerund, complement to verb of incomplete predication. Here, singing is the complement. Thus, here we complete the learning of gerund. If you like this video, kindly subscribe, like and share.